So for the longest period of time, I've been using this Logitech system in my bathroom since I got it. And to be honest, the subwoofer has such little bass, sometimes I question whether it even works or not. Let me give you a quick example of what this thing sounds like. So naturally what I do is I jump into Spotify, boost the bass all the way up, and that would give me a relatively usable bass response. But what if there was an even more simple solution? This here is the 5¼ inch ND series woofer from Dayton Audio out of my tower speakers, and now that they are no longer, let's see how close a fit this subwoofer is to the factory Logitech sub. This is again with the factory EQ, I'll just turn this sub up to listening levels and look how hard the sub isn't working. Unlike any other Logitech stereo, the sub is hardly even working, so let's see, how tight a fit is this? Okay, they look to be absolutely identical. Let's remove this subwoofer. I know this right here is an 8 ohm woofer. Being Logitech, it's probably 4 or 6 ohms, that sub. So let's pull it out and we'll have a look at the back of it and we'll try and put this Dayton woofer in. All right, so I've now removed the subwoofer driver, and that right there is the amplifier unit inside the box, and it is absolutely tiny. The subwoofer on the back says that it's 4 ohms, 30 watts. So again, it's not going to be the perfect direct replacement, although this fits in perfectly. So why don't we just try it out? Man, and 10 times better looking that new sub is. So let's try it out and see how that goes. I'm going to have to solder these in because not only is it soldered on that, but there's still solder on this from when I disconnected the old leads. Also, another misconception that's very popular in the audio world, and it's probably partly my fault on my channel, is that magnet size plays this huge factor in how powerful a speaker is. And if we just have a look here, this is a ferrite magnet on the back of this subwoofer right here, and this is a neodymium magnet on the back of this speaker right here. Two different types of magnets. Both probably have very similar amounts of power. The benefits of neodymium is it's much smaller, which means you can make speakers much lighter. It doesn't necessarily mean that this speaker has a bigger magnet, meaning it's more powerful than this one, because this neodymium magnet probably has more strength than the ferrite magnet on this one does. And the other good thing about the neodymium ones is it's really easy to make things magnetically shielded, so you can put speakers close to TVs. As you can see, there is a screw right beside the magnet just there, and you can see it's not even sticking to it, whereas if I was to put it beside the Logitech one, you can see it sticks straight to it. So I've now got this trusty old soldering station right here that Parts Express sent me, and what I'm going to do now is desolder the Logitech subwoofer down here and put in the Dayton one and see what the difference is like. Alright, so I now have the sub soldered up, and unfortunately it's not as perfect of a fit as I thought it was. You can see we're just hitting the edges of the frame here, so what I'm going to do is just quickly grab a multi-tool and well, we're just going to trim a little bit of the corners off here. I said that I just want to use these as spare woofers and keep them hanging about. And to be honest, it's worth it just for this experiment. From now on, I'll be re-mounting these speakers if I decide to reuse them, seeing as I have a perfect working circle jig and I can get that perfect cut every time. So I'm going to grab a multi-tool and just trim a little bit off these corners here so it then fits inside the box. Alright, so I just used this cheap Ryobi multi-tool and it did the perfect job of just trimming off the edges of the speaker. Let's do a quick test fit now and see if it fits in the box. Perfect, look at that. Alright, so I've now fitted the subwoofer and it's so much louder. It's moving so much more air that I'm actually getting port noise. Listen to this. That bass is so much cleaner. That has definitely been very successful. I'm very happy with the results. Alright, and here we are with the Logitech system back in the bathroom, and I've been using this the last few days, and let me tell you this, the bass response is so much cleaner. It's maybe not necessarily significantly louder, although it is definitely substantially louder than what it used to be, but the bass is so much clearer, so much cleaner, so much nicer sounding. It sounds like a proper subwoofer instead of just a little bass box. But with that being said, guys, that's it for this short little video where I've just swapped out the Logitech subwoofer for a Dayton Audio one. If you guys have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Chuck a like down there. Subscribe to my channel down there if you haven't already, because I do shenanigans like this all of the time. So with that being said, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and that was successfully converting my Logitech subwoofer to a Dayton Audio speaker.